Hey, good morning, CSL. My name's Jake. I'm the music director. And over there is Jeri, and we're the band today. And we are going to lead you in an opening sing-along, and we're going to have some amazing guest musicians later on, so please stay tuned. But for now, please sing along with me to I'm Choosing Heaven Today. Here we go. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Let's choose heaven again. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Let's choose love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Let's choose joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. Let's choose compassion. I choose compassion today. I choose compassion today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose compassion today. Now back to heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm walking the road. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. One more time. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Well, today is such a beautiful day, and I'm so glad you woke up and came in person today. Thank you so much. And then for all of you who are online, welcome, welcome, welcome. I love having our online community. Some people don't know, but 2/3 of our community is online. So especially first service. We have a lot more people who attend first service than second service. So welcome. We see you. We love you. Welcome home, knowing that our sanctuary is all over the world. And I'm Reverend Abigail. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a minister here at the center. And what we do here is we teach spiritual tools so that you can live a thriving life. Our intention is that you connect with the God of your own being, however that looks. And we know that there are many paths to God. We teach from all different religions, but we also have a main teaching from our founder, Ernest Holmes, who is a New Thought leader, and he's quite an amazing man. He made quite an impact a while ago, and he still is impacting us today with about, what do we have, like 800 ministers from around the world. So there's quite a large spread of centers for spiritual living globally. And you're all a part of us. So glad you showed up. Welcome home. I wanted to let you know, for those of you who are new for the first time in the sanctuary, in the seat back pockets, there's this lovely book of cards. You can take any of them home that you want. But I wanted to point out, we have a connection card on the back of it. If you fill it out, you give it to anybody with a name tag or put it in the offering basket, we'll add you to our email list. We do a weekly newsletter on Fridays that has really great articles in it, and it also lets you know about all the amazing things going on, because we are a very active community and we have so much going on, we can't talk about it all on Sunday. The other thing I want to point out is the support tab that on the back side of it, you can write a prayer request if you want, and you can put it in the prayer box in the back corner. And we have 62 practitioners who are happy to pray with you and for you and over your prayer requests. So it's an amazing community here that we have supporting you. In addition, I wanted to let you know that today, after second service, we do have an event going on. We have the Vision Board Workshop. So it's the beginning of the year. It's an awesome time to create some visuals of what you would love as your intention. And everything is provided. I think it's $20, so you can register in the back, register online, or you can just go downstairs and register after second service if you want to leave and come back. We'd love to have you. In addition, we are going to be having some amazing musicians, and I'd love to actually invite you to go ahead and come up, because I'm going to do an opening prayer, and you know, it's always awkward walking up whenever you're in the middle of the prayer. Yeah, trying to sneak in, yeah. So this is Rob and Melissa. We've had them. Very excited to have them today. We have them quite often, and they do kirtans here, and we have all kinds of cool things, and it's a beautiful experience to have Rob and Melissa. So let me go ahead and center us in our prayer, and then we'll move right into song. I'm so grateful to be here. I know that there is something special and sacred about community that lifts my consciousness, that I am surrounded by that infinite presence of love, and that presence permeates exactly where I'm at and exactly where every single person is at right here and right now. I recognize and know that love informs me, it guides me, it pulls me forward into a greater vision of possibility for my life. And I know that everything today is divinely designed for each and every person who is listening. If you said this talk was made just for me, you're right. Because the infinite presence is tuned in, tapped in, and turned on with our highest good, and that is exactly what is unfolding here, from the music to the message to the community, knowing that everything is conspiring for our greatest good. So I claim that truth for each and every one of us, knowing that this service is blessed and a blessing for all. And for that, I'm grateful. And so it is. So it is.
So it is. Welcome, everybody. It's great to be back at Center for Spiritual Living. And for those of you that don't know us, we're Rob and Melissa, and we practice something called kirtan. It's a form of yoga, and it's the chanting of the divine names according to the yogic tradition. So we are going to invite you to sing along, and we're going to assist you a little bit by putting the words up on the screen. Oh, there they are. Everyone please say Shri Ram.
Shri Ram.
Jai Ram.
Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Sita Ram.
Sita Ram.
Jai Sita Ram.
Jai Sita Ram.
So it maybe looks unfamiliar to you, but it's very simple. Shri is another name for Sita, and Jai means victory. So we're saying victory to Sita and Ram. And Sita is the divine goddess, and Ram is God. It's like the idea of Mother Earth and Father Sky. It's this divine union between our physical body and our spirit, and it represents that balance of masculine and feminine energy. So it's not a gender thing. We all have masculine energy and we all have feminine energy, and the goal of all of yoga is to balance and create union. And so in this case, we chant these two names, and it's like a balancing mantra, essentially. So we're going to chant. It's like call and response. So we're going to chant, and then you're going to sing back. So I invite you to join us. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Your turn.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram.
Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram.
Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram.
Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Sita, Sita Ram. Sita, Sita Ram. Sita, Sita Ram. Sita,
Let's all
Sita
sing that
Ram.
together.
Sita, Sita Ram. Sita,
A little
Sita
stronger. Let me
Ram.
hear you.
Sita, Sita Ram. Sita, Sita
One more,
Ram.
please.
Sita, Sita Ram. Sita, Sita
invite you to stand up and clap.
Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram,
Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram,
Sitaram. Keep singing. Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Sitaram. A little stronger. Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram,
Jai Sitaram,
Sitaram, Sitaram,
Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram,
Sitaram, Sitaram,
Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram,
Sitaram, Sitaram,
Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram,
Sitaram, Sitaram.
Jai Sitaram.
Now, oh, why hello. I'll say it again. What I love about this faith tradition is all the names for God. Because, growing up, I had Jesus or God. Kind of limits it all. Good morning, I'm Rev Jeri. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm so glad to be here today. I get to do the second in a series of talks that we're doing here. Abigail did Ready last week. I'm doing Set. And next week, Kathy Ann will do Initiate. So I was thinking about Ready, Set, Go. That's what came to mind for me. And I thought back to the Paris Olympics. Did you guys watch the Olympics? I'm like a fiend for Olympics. It's so amazing to watch people have a dream and do everything it takes to fulfill that dream. I was thinking about the track athletes because, you get that ready, set, go in track. And they come out and, they're all at the top in their own country. They're at the top of the list for whatever event it is. I love the 100-meter dash because it's over like that. But they've prepared. They've run that race 1,000 times. Science a long time ago told them, run it in your mind first. So you see them, and they're all, they see their lane, they know what they're doing, and then the voice says, on your mark. And you see them get down in those blocks, right? They know just how they want to feel right then, because they've done it over and over. They know the exact angle of their toe on the ground, the exact angle of their foot against the block. And you see them come up to that line, and they're like, I can't even believe they can get their fingers to go that wide sometimes. And they look up. They're getting set. They know where they're going. And then the guy says, or the woman, or the person, whatever, the voice says, set. And they raise up. They raise up their hips. They put their head down. And when that gun goes off, they're out. They're ready. They're set. And they go. They do it over and over and over. And if on that day all goes well, they're victorious. And maybe for some runner, it's just that they went 1/10 of a second faster, and that's victory. But they prepared themselves and they got set to follow the desire of their heart, which is the desire of God moving through them. Let's be clear on that. So our theme this year is healthy, wealthy, and wise in 2025. Are these cards available? In the back or something? Maybe. Yeah. Healthy, wealthy, and wise in 2025. Registration desk, thank you. Does that sound good to you?
Yes.
I'll take all that. Healthy, wealthy, and wise? I mean, 2 would be good, but, you know. But that's not just going to happen. That just doesn't, we get to the end of the year and it's like, wow, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. You have to do something to have that happen. You've got to prepare yourself. I have to prepare myself for what it is that I want to have in my life. How I want to get myself set so that when healthy, wealthy, and wise happens, I'm like, yeah, I'm involved in it. So I'm a visual thinker, always have been. Words will come and then a picture. Sometimes it's just the picture, and I know what the words are because of the picture. And the other day, I'm standing, brushing my teeth, minding my own business, and mise en place came to me. Do you know that word? Mise en place. Sounds nice, though, doesn't it? Rolls off the tongue, mise en place. Mise en place, if you've ever watched a cooking segment, and whoever the guest chef is has all their little things, right? They got a little dish of this and a little dish of that. And so they're not taking the time to cut carrots on the show. They don't have that kind of time. They've got it all set. And in every restaurant, I'm going to say every, maybe not every, but most restaurants, before you have walked in the door, somebody has set up the mise en place. You go to a bar for a drink, your bartender has set up their mise en place. They've come in early. They've put the olives. They've cut the limes. They've cut the lemons. They know where their glassware is. They can reach for a bottle that they know is going to be whatever they need it to be in the exact place where they need it without thinking about it. They can turn around and go to that bottle of scotch or that bottle of gin, whatever it is, and they just start doing this. A good bartender, you see them, they're like, because they've prepared themselves. They've gotten set for the night. I used to run restaurants. And sometimes staff would even come in early to give themselves extra time to get set up. And in some restaurants, there's a person called a prep cook that does that. So that when your order comes in, they're not going, I need 3 ounces of carrots. Make 2 ounces of onions. It's all there. And they do it like this. Right? You've seen it. You ever seen an open kitchen? They're not going, now where is that thing? Right? Hopefully. I have seen confusion in a kitchen. But they're ready. They know what they're doing. It occurred to me this morning that I hate cilantro. I just hate it. I despise it. It ruins my meal. The smell of it. I had to get over the smell of it because my wife's a chef, and sometimes when I worked for her, I'd have to cut cilantro. Oh, nice sympathy. Thank you. But sometimes, no matter how many times I tell the server, and sometimes I just say I'm allergic because then they pay a little more attention. Here comes the dish. It's got cilantro on it. Because they're doing muscle memory. Well, we need spiritual mise en place. We need spiritual muscle memory. So that when the shit goes down, you know what you're doing. And I mean that. It's how we can operate. So that we're not distracted by all the stuff that we see. And let's face it, It's been hard this week to see what we're seeing. It's really hard. Excuse me. A mentor friend of mine said to me, I can always trust you to go to prayer. I was like, really? I didn't even know. He goes, yeah. Whenever anything comes up, you're like, let's pray. That's my mise en place. That's what I've done. I've done it so many times, I just do it. And we have to train ourselves because it's really easy to do something else. The more we practice something, the more we come to believe in it. I believe in prayer. With every part of me, I believe in prayer. Even as a little girl praying to my Jesus, I believed in prayer. And now, praying and interacting with the God that I know, I believe in it. I have too much data to not believe in it. Every morning I get up and I go to my office at 6:30 to do something we call Anchored in Prayer. It's a ministry that God prepared me for. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was doing that. There's a great line, I'm just thinking of it in The Alchemist, that it says, a boy has no way of knowing that his story has begun. You don't know what God's preparing you for, but it's preparing you if you will play, if you'll involve yourself with it. So I get up at 6:30 every morning. I go down to my office, sit in my chair that I got at the choir rummage sale 20-some years ago. And I think, I contemplate, I hold my cat, I feel love, I pray, I read. I do it every day. It's astonishing to me that I'm doing it every day because I never did anything every day. I'd call on my God when I needed something. There's a good country song about that, Jelly Roll, I think. But now, because I do that, that's my mise en place. Now, I could probably, after 5 years, go turn on the computer and just sit down and do something. And none of my Anchored in Prayer community would probably be any the wiser. But it's not how I want to show up. I want to sit down in that chair prepared. I want to be set for what I'm about to do. I'm teaching a class on mental equivalence. It's starting this Tuesday. It's 5 weeks. You can still sign up. I think there's still room. Hybrid if you need to do it from afar. And I've realized that mental equivalence it's like the foundation of everything. Because we can't have what we can't picture. Mental equivalence is having a picture of the good that you want. Most of us spend a lot of time tossing the little mise en place dishes around, creating a mess in the kitchen. We have all kinds of stumbling blocks, and they're really ingrained, these stumbling blocks. They come to us from our parents and from our teachers and from society at large. But if I want to have a picture of healthy, wealthy, and wise, then I have to be persistent and faithful to the idea that I could, in fact, experience health, wealth, and wisdom and not deviate. The deviation is where we fall down. And we do it all the time. We do it all the time. The other day I was talking to a friend. She's got a good life, but, she's got things going on too. And I said, would you be willing for God to supply every need? My friend Eric Odell used to say that. Would you be willing, he would say. Would you be willing to let God supply every need? And she didn't answer right away. So we sat there for a minute. And she's looking around, and I'm just letting her do whatever she's doing in that mind of hers. Because the answer should be a resounding yes. She goes, I said, oh, there's your answer. You're not. Otherwise, you would have said yes. She's been in this teaching. She knows what she's doing. And she said, well, I'm willing, but I don't know how. I'm like, that's your stumbling block. That you need to know how is your stumbling block. That's where you're deviating from God supplying every need. I don't know how. Well, then it can't. That's the thing. When we say we don't, it can't. That's the hard, cold fact of this teaching. It's a little stern, isn't it? When I came to this church, there was a trip to Bali going on. And I was like, whew, they do trips. I've always wanted to go to Bali. I love the art and the colors and everything. And then, that was going on when I came in, and people came back, and they were just like, oh, my God. Then other trips came, and I didn't go. Other trips came. Oh, I wanted to go on that one. Didn't go because I didn't believe I could. So I've been a practitioner for 7 years. I've been in ministerial school for almost 2 years. And one night after class, Kathy Ann, who was our local teacher, our spiritual leader here, Don, and a whole class, Bernie, Andrea, Brent, we all went out to Mama Molina's for some food and a drink. And they started talking about Egypt, because they were going to Egypt. 2017. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted to go. And I had known about it, but I hadn't signed up, because I didn't see any way of that being true. So as we're talking, Kathy Ann's like, you going? And I said, no, I can't afford it. And she went, I don't know if you've seen that look from her, but pulls her head back. She goes, oh, you don't believe. I was like, damn. Because I went, no, I don't. And then I was sitting there at that table going, how could you not believe after all this time? How could you not believe? That year and a half, I didn't know I was going to say this, that year and a half, I lost 11 people in my life. In a year and a half. And God walked me through it. How could I not believe? And so in that instant, sitting in that restaurant, I said, okay, I'm going. There wasn't $1 that I had that I could spare, because it ain't cheap. She stays in really nice places. If you've ever gone, you're staying in really nice places. But I said, okay, I'm doing it. Had no idea how, and I didn't go, well, I guess I'll try to get the money. I said, I'm going. And that yes sets the law in motion. So here we have something we call the law. The law is the part of God that does the creating. So there's the intelligence that is God that decides what it wants to do. And then there's the creative part that does the doing. And then there's the thing that's been done. And it's all of that. And because God does that, you and I do that. Because we're made in its image and its likeness. We have everything that it is. It made us out of itself. So I have the ability to say, to create, and to have health, wealth, and wisdom. And the strangest thing started happening. I'm not kidding you. What I'm about to tell you is it's insane to me. So I go home and I tell my wives, yes, I have two. I tell my wives, I'm going to Egypt. And they're like, okay, great. They didn't go, well, how are you going to do that? They were just like, great. Can't wait to hear about it. And then things started to happen. I came home from work one day, self-employed, come home, and my wife Jen says, "If you'll sell my scooter, you can keep the money." I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, I don't ride it. I'm tired of looking at it. If you'll just sell it and get it out from under the patio, you can have the money." Cha-ching, $1,500 for Egypt. I go to my office at an active space building, and at the end of the month, there was always like crazy good stuff at the dumpster. I mean, really, people would just be like, "I don't want to move my office. I'm just going to put it at the dumpster." And I'd gotten some really good things for my office there. There were these beautiful screens. I don't know, 3 or 4. Oh, those went right in my car. Cha-ching, $225. Won a prize at an office party. I didn't want that prize, but I took it. Cha-ching, $100. And it just kept happening because I said yes. And I didn't waver. I got my passport in order. I got my life in order and rearranged so that I could be away from my business. And I went. Oh, yeah, I did. Wanted to see those pyramids since I was a little girl. And if you get a chance to go on that trip, just say yes today. If you want to go, say yes, and it'll happen. All right, Carol, I expect you on that trip. Because God knew what it was doing. Because God always knows what it's doing. That's money in the bank right there. Cha-ching. It always knows what it's doing. And on that trip, with all that grief I had, it took me in the early dawn hours on a boat across a lake to an island with a temple that had been moved there. And when I asked it what I was supposed to do with all that grief, it told me, just be the light. As my hands illuminated in a darkened room, I kid you not. And when I walked out of that room, I discovered in graffiti, which really offended me, it's like, this is like an ancient ruin, and you're going to carve into it, but what was carved into it? Don knows. My nephew's initials and a heart. How does that happen? How in the world does that happen? It happens because I said yes. It happened so that I could remember I'm not alone. And let me tell you, that moment is burned in my memory. I'll never forget this little vestibule, rock vestibule, stone, and a chair, Isis's chair. And there, right there, TJ. Crazy. So we have to commit. We have to commit to what we want. Because God will do whatever it is that is the desire of your heart. And I'll tell you again, what you desire is God, who is centered in you. It's centered in all creation. It's centered in your socks. It's centered in your jacket. It's centered in this book. It's centered every place. There's no place that it doesn't exist. So recognize it. Recognize your ability to use it because it wants to be used. And the desire that it puts in your heart is it's wanting to do something. It was like, Jeri, just believe, will ya? That's how my God talks to me. Would you just believe? Kind of hand on the hip kind of action. Would you just go to Egypt for God's sake? So I'm studying a lot of mental equivalents to prepare myself for this class. And there's something that you want right now, but you're doubting it. Anybody? All right. Well, maybe today you'll stop. Maybe today will be the day that you go, okay. Doesn't matter if you go, okay, or you go, okay, but say okay. And then let it happen through you. I want to share this. So the class I'm teaching is based on Emmett Fox, also a person of New Thought leadership, long time ago. He has some good stuff. And he wrote a little pamphlet. It's a little tiny thing. The book is like, this wide, called Mental Equivalence. Ernest, our founder, thought it was so important, he wrote a whole chapter about it. He didn't just mention it through the book. He's like, look, you better get this straight, because your mental equivalent is the basis of everything. How good can you take it? How good do you want it? And will you be faithful to it? So listen to this. This is on page 282. The way to proceed is to begin right where we are. It is not scientific to attempt to begin somewhere else. One who understands the systematic use of the law, creation, will understand that he is where he is because of what he is, but he will not say, I must remain where I am because of what I am. Instead, he will begin to disclaim what he appears to be. As his statements release wrong subjective tendencies, that's our stumbling blocks, all those things that says I can't and I don't and I don't know how and all of those, when we let loose of those, providing in their place a correct concept of life and reality, capital R, he will automatically be lifted out of his condition. Something you want to be lifted out of? Impelling forces sweeping everything before them will set him free if he trusts in spirit and the working of the law. That's the thing. We have to keep trusting. We have to keep knowing. And it's not blind hope. It's blind faith. That's what I use, is faith. I look at what I have experienced and what I've known, and I declare it to be the truth, because it is the truth. And all this other flotsam and jetsam of thinking that what I need and what I get is dependent upon the material world is wrong. It is not dependent upon the material world. It's dependent on your ability and my ability to allow God to move through us to give us what we want, to manifest for us, through us, with us. That's the caveat, with us. We're not just down here willy-nilly just doing stuff on our own. There's something within you. There's something within me, and it's God. It's what I call God. You can call it whatever you want. Spirit, the universe, Jimmy Joe. It don't matter. It don't matter. Stay with the one and never deviate from it. Never leave it for a moment. Nothing else can equal this attitude. And here he goes into all caps, which I always go, hey, are you listening? All caps. To desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth. In our hour of need, don't desert the truth. I am. I will. Don't desert it. When things look the worst, I love this man. When things look the worst, that is the supreme moment to demonstrate to ourselves that there are no obstructions to the operation of truth. How would God get in its own way? God doesn't get in its own way. We get in God's way. When things look the worst is the best time to work, the most satisfying time. The person who can throw himself with a complete abandon, I love this. Into the limitless sea of receptivity. I want to be on that sea. I want to be floating on that. Having cut loose from all apparent moorings. You know what moorings are? It's what tethers the boat, keeps you at the dock, not sailing off on the sea of receptivity. Having cut loose from all apparent moorings is the one who will always receive the greatest reward. So we have to be on guard. Because what we think over and over and over is what we believe. That's why it took me, 13 years to go on a spiritual trip. It took me 13 years to finally say yes. Because I kept repeating, I don't have the money. Well, guess what? When I say I don't have the money, I can't have the money. Because I don't believe it. And it is done unto us as we believe. Says it over and over. Says it in the Gita. Says it in the Quran. Says it in the Bible. It's done unto us as we believe. What we say matters. Because the law is listening. So what are you saying? Catch yourself. Clip that mooring. When you say that, oh, that's a mooring. Nope. Just clip it. Let go of it. Say, wait a minute. Sometimes I do this with myself. I'm like, wait, Jeri. What are you thinking? Is that the truth? That's not the truth. I do have conversations with myself. And then I go, okay, what's the truth? And then I go over here. I go to prayer. Or I go sit my butt in that chair so that I can remember what I believe. Because trust me, what you believe becomes what you expect. You may have heard me say this, and I'll keep saying it because we all need to understand it. I need to hear it over and over. What we think, we believe. Our belief is a thought we keep thinking. Our belief becomes an expectation. Think about that person that annoys the crap out of you. Don't you always expect them to be annoying as soon as you see them? I mean, really? I think we've all had somebody in our life that's been like that. If you quit expecting them to be annoying, guess what? They're not going to be annoying. That's hard to believe, I know, but it's true. And what we expect, we get. And then it's a little, I call it the hamster wheel. Pew, pew, pew. So set yourself up. Set yourself up. Get set. Don't waver. Now close your eyes for a second. Just play along with me. At home, just close your eyes, whether you're live or watching, and think about something that you want. Something that you may not have thought you could ever have. A relationship healed, something you want to let go of, something you want to acquire. You got it? Now think about what it would feel like to have that as your experience. To have that in your life, to have it. To wake up every day and have it. I see you smiling. That feeling, that's the one you want to play with right there. That feeling of having it. That's your mental equivalent. I can have that. I can be that. I can do that. This is getting ourselves set. And I'm going to tell you, your job is to do this every day. Because you're doing the other stuff that's the stumbling blocks, you're doing that every day. Do this every day. And see what happens. See what happens. It's yours to have. It's yours to be. Emmett Fox says, clarity and interest are the polarity, the two polarities to having what we want. Be clear about what you want and show interest in it. Have a feeling about it. I didn't say, I guess I want to go to Egypt. I said, I'm going to Egypt. Have some fervor. Have some vim and vigor about it. And be faithful to it. And it's yours. I swear it's yours. Because it's already yours if you'd allow it. Let's pray. I give thanks this morning that we're called to get set. That we can figure out what it is that brings that feeling for each of us. To know God. To not stumble around in life, but to know life itself with a big L. The life that is within. That moves from the center out into the circumference. That nestled itself in creation because it wanted to. And that's me and that's you. Oh, feel that presence within you. Maybe you find it in quiet, maybe you find it in song, maybe you find it in a book, but find it. Hold on to it. And let God be God for you and with you and through you. And so it is.
So in the Vedas, which are the scriptures that form the basis of what's called Sanatana Dharma, which is the ancient wisdom of the rishis in India. It's also the basis of all the yogic scriptures and also the basis of Hinduism. In the Vedas it says, God is one, but the wise call it by different names. And so we're going to chant another name of God. And this name is Hari. So this mantra is very, very simple. Hari Om. So everyone say Hari,
Hari
Om. And this is a greeting in India. You're walking down the street, people will say Hari Om. Or you hear this all the time. The full mantra is Hari Om Tat Sat. And it's very much like, and so it is. It's basically saying, God is. That it means God is the truth. The name of God is the truth. It's said in India that there's no difference between the name of God and God itself, that it's non-different. And so when we chant these names, we're like bringing an awareness of God into our consciousness. And so we're going to chant this together. And we'll surrender to that yes as we sing this. This is another meaning of Hari Om, is this surrendering to God, surrendering to that truth. So we'll chant together. It's like a sing-along. Melissa is going to sing the first round, and then we'll all just join in. So let us chant.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari
little stronger.
Hari Om, 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 Hari Om,
Beautiful.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Sing your yes.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
One more with all your heart.
Hari Om, 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 Hari Om.
Let's all sing.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om,
Close your eyes and keep singing.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Beautiful.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Last one. Sing it like a prayer.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Thank you, Rob and Melissa. I do have a couple of quick announcements for you. Before we do the announcements, I do want to say there are several ways to give. We're going to, after the announcements, we're going to give an opportunity for you to give to this community because this community is supported by all of you. So, plenty of ways to give if you want to fill out those checks or type the text to give or scan the QR code. Sometimes it takes a little bit for those things to happen. While you're doing that, I wanted to mention that Kathy Ann is doing a brand new thing called Spiritual Spa Wednesdays. It is not going to be every Wednesday, but it is happening on Wednesday, January 15th. It's in person only from 6 to 7 p.m. And these are soul treatments for health, wealth, and wisdom. So if you want to get deeper into our theme for the year, it's a great opportunity to work directly with Kathy Ann. And she does great with everybody in groups. It's amazing. The next thing I wanted to mention is that Reverend Don Beatty and Sharon Ramey, and Don is in the room if you're wondering who that amazing man is. He is here, and he is co-teaching a class called Practical Mysticism, Mysticism on the Mount. So you might have heard the term, the Sermon on the Mount. If you want to get really deep into spiritual practice, you want to take your spirituality to the next level, I would highly encourage you to take this class. I signed up for it. I'm super excited. I hope all of you will as well. And are you ready? Something amazing is happening. Starting today, it is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, and look at that, we even have Kathy Lindsay. Here she is, yeah, woohoo! All dressed up and ready for Super Bowl. The deal is we're here to beat hunger. So we're going to beat hunger. You can bring in canned food now through February 9th, and we compete with other centers for spiritual living, other New Thought communities, and we also compete against ourselves and our prior amount of cans that have come into the community. So feel free, you can either donate money and we'll buy cans on your behalf, or you can bring in cans that you might want to clear out of your kitchen cabinet or purchase at Costco if you want. So either way, we would love to have you do that starting now through February 9th. And then I wanted to mention that we are having spiritual tune-ups. So our practitioners do this quarterly. They're basically like a quick laser alignment, which is what a tune-up is. So if you want to get a spiritual alignment, I would encourage you to sign up for the tune-ups. They are free, but they do ask for a love offering if you want to give them a love offering. But they are really here to be in service to you. So we love it when people sign up for the tune-ups so we know how many practitioners need to be in service on that day. But we have plenty available and ready to pray for you. So please do sign up for the spiritual tune-ups. And that goes for you too online. You can do it as well. And anything else, oh yeah, one last thing I forgot. Jeri is the one who picked our book of the month. So our book of the month this month is Your Spiritual Power by Ernest Holmes. And it's a collection of 7 books from Ernest Holmes. So actually some of these I haven't read myself, so I might go get this myself. I think that's really awesome. All right, and now it is my deep honor and pleasure to invite you to consider what you would like to give back to this community. I'd love to invite our usher to please come forward. And I want you to know that truly it's all of the people in the past who've attended this community and have made an impact by sharing their gifts with all of us here that we're able to do something like Sunday services and all of the other services that we provide for you. So in gratitude and appreciation, I just thank all of the people who've ever given. And if you want to consider giving today, please give your gift, put your gift over your heart. Maybe it's your credit card, I don't know. Whatever you want to do, your intention, put your intention over your heart. And know with me that this intention is blessed. It's multiplied. It blesses both the giver, which is you, and the receiver, which is every single one of us here today and beyond. Knowing that this gift is a blessing for the world, that it allows us to be a place where love shows up, where we are reminded of how amazing our expression is on this planet and how good our God is. And for that, I'm deeply grateful, and so it is. So feel free to bring your gift up here, or if you gave online, or if you want to just bless the basket, feel free to do that too. Jake, take it away.
What a great service. Special thanks to Reverend Jeri for a wonderful talk. It's just great when she talks. It's always interesting what she has to offer us. It's always wonderful. And also special thanks to Melissa and Rob for the musicians today. And Jake and accompaniment on the Ivy keys, helping out. And I'm Jeff. I'm a prayer practitioner here in Seattle. And you guys are surrounded by prayer practitioners today. So we have Cynthia, and then we have Sarah in the back who'll be working the table. Cynthia was doing the prayer circle. And we had Karen here who was doing the blessings of the contributions. And online we have Kim. So if you're online, you can get prayer support. So whether you want prayer support here or online, if something's not going well and you want prayer support to kind of get out of that funk, we're here to help, also online. And if something's going well and you want it to continue, get prayer support for that. So I invite us all to go within. I invite us all to know that we are one with God. God is all there is. There is no place where God ends and any one of us begin. It is one. We are one. And going forth, let us know, let us prepare to be healthy, wealthy, and wise this coming year. And let's get our mezopon together and ready in this preparation. And let us know inside that the desire in our heart is God's desire for us. And going on, let us know that this desire, and let prayer be the way, the path to this desire. And think of your desire, think of your Egyptian trip. Think of that desire that seems like it's impossible to get to. But know that that desire is God's desire for you and is your truth. Prepare for it, state it, expect it, and go to prayer, get prayer support, but know that desire is yours, it's here and now, and so it is.
All right, everybody, it's time for the closing sing-along. I do have a new sing-along prepared, but we're going to do it next week with the band because I'm not singing it by myself and just with Jeri. I need more help than that. But for today, we're going to sing This Little Light of Mine for what is potentially the last time for a little bit. So please rise as you're able. Please get up on stage as you're able, but also be very careful of the instruments up there. Thank you very much. Here we go.